Good morning. Today we will study the facial injuries and the nerve injuries. Nerve injuries. The injury to the nerves that occur commonly during birthing process are facial injury and brachial plexus injury. Facial injury is also called as facial nerve injury is also called as Bell's palsy, and under brachial plexus injury we will study Erb's Duchenne paralysis and Klumpke's palsy. In this picture you can see the site for Erb's palsy C5 and C6 nerve root, and for Klumpke's paralysis the site for injuries C8 and T1 nerve root. First is facial nerve palsy. In this picture you can see facial nerve supplies frontalis muscle, orbicularis oculi muscle, and muscles in the nose, and orbicularis oris muscle. So when there will be palsy of facial nerve, these muscles will be affected. Risk factors are forceps delivery, prolonged second stage of labor, clinical manifestation, weakness of both upper and lower facial muscle. That means upper facial muscle means frontalis, etc., and lower means orbicularis or oculi, etc., orbicularis oris, etc. At rest, the nasolabial fold is flattened and the eye remains persistently open on the affected side. Nasolabial fold is the fold from base of the nose to corner of the mouth, which is usually present in all babies, but it will be flattened in case of facial nerve injury, and eye will remain persistently open on the affected side due to paralysis of the muscle orbicularis oculi. During crying, there is inability to wrinkle the forehead or close the eyes. During crying, there is inability to wrinkle the forehead or close the eyes on ipsilateral side. Ipsilateral side means same side. When baby is crying, the forehead will be free of wrinkles. In normal neonate, there will be wrinkles while crying. In case of facial nerve palsy, the wrinkles will be absent due to paralysis of this frontalis muscle, and the mouth is drawn away from the affected side. This is due to paralysis of the orbicularis oris muscle. You can see here is palsy of the in first picture there is facial palsy of the left eye, and the face is drawn towards the right. Treatment: protection of involved eye by application of artificial tear, because eyes open and there is the chances of dry eye or xerosis, so the artificial tear are installed here. And second is neurological repair of the nerve should be considered only after lack of resolution during 1 year of observation. If after 1 year of observation the condition doesn't improve, then neurological repair is done. Second is brachial plexus injury. These are common is macrosomic babies, the babies who are large in size, head is large in size, especially when lateral traction is applied to deliver shoulder in vertex presentation or extended arm in bridge presentation. Means when there is injury to the area around shoulder. In vertex presentation, when we apply lateral pressure to the shoulder, and in bridge presentation when we pull the arm, there is chances of brachial plexus injury. First is Erb's Duchenne's paralysis. This is due to injury to C5 and C6 cervical nerve roots. In this, the infant loses the power to abduct the arm from the shoulder, means baby cannot move the arm away from the shoulder and can't rotate the arm externally and supinate the forearm due to weakness of abductor, external rotator and supinator. In this picture you can see there is adduction of arm. Arm is toward the midline of the body, and internal rotation of arm you can see is internal rotation, and pronation means the dorsum of the hand is toward the midline of the body. Erb's palsy may be associated with injury of the phrenic nerve, which is innervated with fiber from C6 to C3 to C5, means along with injury to C5 and C6 nerve root. If C3 to C5 is also involved, then there is injury to phrenic nerve also. In this Oh's palsy, biceps reflex is absent because proximal muscle is paralyzed. Moro reflex is absent on the affected side. The involved arm is held in waiter tip position. जिसे वेटर टिप लेता है हाथ पीछे को करके और मुट्ठी बंद करके. The involved arm is held in waiter tip position. A policeman stick, you can imagine the shape of policeman stick is also like curved from lower part, with adduction and internal rotation of the shoulder, extension of elbow, pronation of arm and flexion of the wrist and fingers. Grasp reflex is preserved because here distal muscles are not involved. Brachial plexus injury, second part is clump case paralysis. It involves C8 and T1 nerves, resulting in weakness of intrinsic hand muscle and long flexures of wrist and fingers. Means the distal muscles are involved, so grasp reflex will be absent, but biceps reflex is present because the proximal muscle, the muscles toward the shoulders, are not involved. Flaccid extremity and absent reflexes. Diagnosis by physical examination, you can see in this picture there is claw hand deformity. Radiographs of shoulder and upper arm. Management, initial management is conservative. The arm is mobilized across the upper abdomen during first week. 1 week के लिए arm को immobilized किया जाता है across the upper abdomen. And second, physical therapy with passive range of motion exercise at the shoulder, elbow and wrist. After first week, after 7 days, physical therapy is started. Infant without recovery by 3 to 6 months of age may be considered for surgical exploration. Prognosis depends on whether nerve fibers are merely injured. If there is minute injury, the patient will recover in 2 to 3 months. If patient is truly lacerated, nerves are truly lacerated, there is permanent functional loss. Upper plexus injury, that is Oh's injury, has better prognosis than the clump case injury. Now the facial injuries. Nasal septum deviation. Nasal septum dislocation involves dislocation of the cartilaginous part of the nasal septum. Clinical features are airway obstruction on the side where nasal septum dislocation is there. Deviation of the nose to one side. Nares are asymmetric with flattening of the side of dislocation. Application of pressure on the tip of nose causes collapse of the nostril and the deviated septum becomes more prominent. If we apply pressure on the tip of the nose, the nasal septum will move toward the side of dislocation and the nostril will be collapsed. Dislocated nasal septum. You can see here the asymmetric nostrils. मैनेजमेंट डेफिनेटिव डायग्नोसिस में भी है राइनोस्कोपी से हम इसको डायग्नोस कर सकते हैं. और जो ऑटो राइनोलॉजिस्ट है वो मैनुअल रिडक्शन करता है बाय नेज़ल एलिवेटर. मतलब जिस साइड को नेज़ल सेप्टम का डेविएशन हो उसको नेज़ल सेप्टम एलिवेटर की हेल्प से उसका मैनुअल रिडक्शन करके नॉर्मल पोजीशन पे लेके आते हैं. रिडक्शन शुड बी परफॉर्म बाय 3 days ऑफ एज. सेकेंड इज ऑक्यूलर इंजरीज. As I have already told you during neonatal examination, some ocular injuries are benign. For example, subconjunctival hemorrhage and edema of eyelids. But other injuries are not benign. These are rupture of descemet membrane of cornea, lid laceration, hypemia, that is blood in anterior chamber, vitreous hemorrhage, then retinopathy, corneal edema, corneal abrasion. And management is according to the type of injury, and such patient should be referred to ophthalmologist. Now facial injuries. Congenital muscular torticollis. Atrophic muscle fiber surrounded by collagen and fibroblast. Means the atrophy of muscle means muscle is not properly developed and this area is surrounded by collagen and fibroblast. Tearing of muscle fiber or facial cheek below the hematoma formation of subsequent fibrosis. मसल फाइबर की टेयरिंग की वजह से वहाँ पे हेमेटोमा फॉर्मेशन भी हो सकता है. क्लिनिकल फीचर, द हेड इज टिल्टेड टुवर्ड द साइड ऑफ लीजन एंड रोटेटेड टू द कॉन्ट्रालेटरल साइड. मीन्स हेड जो है वो लीजन के साइड पे टिल्ट होगा और चिन इज स्लाइटली एलिवेटेड, चिन थोड़ा सा एलिवेट होगा. इफ द मास इज प्रेजेंट लाइक हेमेटोमा और diagnosis is present. It is firm, spindle shaped, immobile and located in the mid portion of sternocleidomastoid muscle without accompanying discoloration or inflammation. अगर कोई मास प्रेजेंट है ड्यू टू मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्चर तो वो स्पिंडल शेप का होगा और स्टर्नोक्लिडोमेस्टॉइड जो मसल है उसके सेंटर में होगा. You can see in this picture, this is a mass, spindle shaped mass in the middle of sternocleidomastoid muscle. The head is tilted toward the side of lesion and rotated to the contralateral side. means अब दूसरे साइड पे वो ऐसे रोटेटेड हेड होगा और जिस साइड पे लीजन है उसी साइड पे tilted head होगा. Diagnosis is by physical examination, radiography by X-ray और USG. ट्रीटमेंट एक्टिव एंड पैसिव स्ट्रेचिंग. एक्टिव स्ट्रेचिंग मतलब बेबी को खुद स्ट्रेच करेगा. पैसिव मीन्स विद द हेल्प ऑफ अदर पर्सन. और लास्ट ऑप्शन इज सर्जरी. थैंक यू.